What is up, y'all? My name is Demetrius, and I'm here to talk to you today about how to perform at your highest level in 2022. Let's get it. All right, so we are here with the first tip, but they'll be in the form of a question, but I'm going to challenge you guys today. So I hope that's okay. So, the question number one: how do you connect as a performer? How do you connect to industry professionals and your audience? And the first thing I would suggest when it comes to that is your presence. Your presence is key when it comes to you getting out there and saying, "Here I am. I am making a declaration and I'm going to get out there and I'm just going to, just let it all go." And so for me as a performer myself, that was a big deal for me when it came to performing. People always expected me to have that presence because I always came with that presence and because I learned it at an early age. And a little pro tip: I learned a lot of my presence from music videos. So I studied music videos and I watched the way people perform, and I used that as a fuel for me to learn how to get there, like, immediately when it comes to me sharing what I have to share. So that's the first one, and the second one is sing and dance like you mean it. Okay, you listen. You have people from the crowd to be like, "Hey, go ahead and do it." Like, you have people cheering, and you'll have a standing ovation sometimes. I'm not sure if any of you have experienced that. But one of the ways to get to those moments, to to develop a satisfaction with your audience, is locking in and focusing and saying, "Hey, like, I gotta really dance from my heart. I gotta really sing and emote with passion, like, and really be secure in my gift, like, in what I have to share." Again, like, it's about what you have to share. And sometimes we get so bogged down with all the unnecessary stuff when it comes to performance time, and we get so frustrated with ourselves when it comes to us having to make certain decisions. And is my dress too tight, is my pants not fitting right, or I tell you, man, I've had performances where I have completely ripped my pants. I've had performances where I've had to really, like, snap it and hold it together. I even remember being, what was it, a musical I did. I did Oliver the Musical. My mic pack, like, it fell, like, right through the chair. But what did I do in my mind? I said that I would not stop while I was performing, and I didn't. And I was like, I don't understand how I made it through that performance without, like, choking. But it was because I had locked in and made a decision to say, "Hey, things happen as a performer, and you have to be very pliable and flexible, but you have to be flexible quickly. Like, not have a it just happened, like, you know but have a moment to yourself and say, "Hey, get there, perform, get back to it." So that's my first question. Question two, let's keep it going. Is fame more important than serving others? What's the question? Let me hear y'all. What's the question? What's the question? The question is no. Fame is not important in this industry. Now, some people might be trying to achieve fame and get fame, but it's just like, it's not really the end goal, because a lot of people are famous and sometimes they're miserable, or they may not be able to handle the weight of that influence. So we have to, think about those things as well. And the first thing I would start with is that you have to stay grounded in your values. Like, what is your value system like? How do you treat people? Like, how do you make sense of the world, like what community do you have around you that is pushing you to grow, not only personally but professionally, and even morally. So we see so many different things, even in the performance industry, where there are so many people being taken advantage of. And one thing I know is that when you have your own voice and you're able to speak up for yourself and to be grounded and rooted in that voice and say, hey, listen, you can't take advantage of me, like, or you can't push me to a place where I don't want to go. That is that's very rare, one. And you have to really protect yourself and protect your heart from those things. But that's not really what I was, getting at. But when it comes to fame, that's what we have to really think about: staying grounded and rooted in our values, knowing that family is more important than me going to wherever I need to go, like, to get, whatever is on my mind that I need to get. Like, we all deal with that, whether it's, famous or not, we all deal with that. So the second thing I wanted to talk about too is, like, spend time investing in your peers and your community. And that is the service portion. The service portion is where we really truly come alive, and we truly connect to our purpose. Because how can you have an audience if you don't have any people that you serve, and people that who haven't been impacted not only by your gift but your heart? People need to see your heart. And I think that when the further we get away from this, I need to be famous so more people can like me, and we need to get away from those type of ways of thinking, because sometimes we've been conditioned even by media and socials that we have to be a specific type of person for people to like us and have a specific status, and that's not true. But most people who really make a difference are characterized by service. They're not characterized by, how much money they have in their pockets, but they're characterized by the things that they do that impact people for a lifetime and for a generation. So we have to get that generation mindset and say that, hey, I am going to make an impact for those people who really need what I have. Yeah. So that is question number 2. Question number 3. Question number 3 is, do you have a mindset to be a sponge? Man, I can't tell you, man. I've been in so many rooms with so many different things. I've been in school before. I've been I was a trainee in a dance company, and so for me, like, I had to be like so focused at times. And for me, sometimes if anybody's like I am, I generally sometimes I have a short attention span, so holding my attention sometimes has to be a task. So, but the important thing is that when you come to your project, or when you come to, like, maybe choreography, or maybe your song, when it comes to learning, like, and even the professional mentors and the people that you have in your corner, are you actually making an impact when it comes to you investing in yourself and saying, hey, I'm going to be present? And so so I even mentioned that, it does make an impact on your investment when you make the decision to be a sponge and to soak up all the information, to be able to move to a different place of a technical standpoint. So, what I mean by that is making a specific stance and saying, I know what I carry, and I know what I want to do. But many times, we get so focused on the other stuff when it comes to, our mindset. So I think that having a sponge like mindset and soaking up those things are important. But I diverted from my questions, so a bit. So I'm gonna keep it going. So asking tons of questions, that is number 1 under being a sponge, y'all. Like, listen, ask a gazillion questions. Like, sometimes even ask the stupid ones. Okay? Ask the stupid questions, and make them worthwhile. Like, sometimes the stupid questions are the ones that get you the furthest because they're simple in nature and they make you they help you to understand where you're going, you know. So that, and then also being vulnerable about your weaknesses so that you can soar quickly. So there are many times that we are in specific situations where we rely more on our strengths than so our weaknesses, and I think that's just an innate thing that we all have, is that we operate that way, and we don't want to be seen as, oh, I'm incapable of doing it, you know. Or that's sometimes the mindset that we deal with. I'm incapable, or I can't do it, you know. And I struggle, you know. And for me, I would say personally, I've struggled with that. I've struggled with, like, just the vulnerability. It's like, oh, I'm weak in that area, but there's many times I pushed, and I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and sometimes I just didn't even get there. It was because I didn't work on the weaknesses. And that's the key. Like, when you're performing, like, work on your weaknesses, and make the most of that specific training, because that specific training is going to help you become a fuller singer, you know, even more better, you know, professional dancer. Because some of us wanted to be professional. I wanted to be professional at some point, you know. So, but you don't get to the professional level when you actually don't make the sacrifice and say, hey, I gotta really get to these weaknesses, man. And make it, and do it, commit to it, and focus. So the next question for, which is the last one, which is basically a it's just basically something I just want to say to you guys, that when it comes to our success, like, you have to define it for you. I'm not talking about girl down the street. I'm not talking about brother man down the corner. Like, I'm talking about you. And I remember a guy I knew in the industry, successful producer and engineer, and we were talking about success, and he really asked me that question, that hard question. He was like, "What does success mean to you?" And to be honest, like, I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shook, and I was like, "Well, I don't really know." And for me, it's just like, what my answer was is that I said, it's rooted in helping other people. It's rooted in service, you know. And so that's really what I really wanted to share, is that we have to define our success, and really hone that. But defining our success means that we also have to eliminate fear. Man, that's the real deal, Holyfield, as they say. That's the real deal, man. We have to really work to eliminate fear by just starting. And so, the four things I want to talk about is, what is success for me? And you can write these questions down for yourself. What is success for me? How have I defined it? Do I believe in the gifts that I possess? And the last one is, just get out there and kill it. So, what is success for me? How have I defined it? Do I believe in the gifts that I possess? And the last one, get your butt out there and kill it. That's all you got to do, for real. So, I hope these tips have helped you in some way. I hope you resonate with my story and what I've shared, and hope you resonate even more, because I'll be sharing more on my channel about just the things that I wish I could be able to talk about concerning performance, because most people really struggle, and most performers and artists really struggle with imposter syndrome. And so that's part of defining success. So when you define your success, you can be able to eliminate the imposter syndrome, because you're not looking at nobody else around you. You're not making any, and you're not analyzing things, you're not making things, making up stories in your head about where I need to be, and it's just it's confusing, and I know I sound confusing talking about it because it is very chaotic. Like it that imposter syndrome will really rack your brain and make you think that you are really, you're, what do they call it? You're a fraud. They call it, that's what imposter syndrome makes you believe, that you're a fraud, that you are a person that is impersonating somebody, and so I just wanted to encourage you with those things. Hope you like everything that was shared, and just let me know how you feel in the comments. Share, like, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to grow, and I'm also trying to share these experiences with people who really desire to get out there and connect with their audience and not just be on the stage just like scared. So we'll begin to talk about those things, and so I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.